Hello there, welcome to another video. In this video we are going to see what our Prime Minister is saying in the Australia Parliament. So without further delaying, let's start the video.
I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of this land
Okay.
on which we stand today
He is reading a
and
written
pay my
speech.
respect to their elders, past and present.
He is reading a written speech. Prime Minister of the Republic of
The Honorable
India.
Prime Minister, the Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Honorable President of the Senate, the Honorable Leader of the Opposition,
This was live from
Honorable
Canberra.
members and senators, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, my friend Tony Abbott.
He's speaking at the joint sitting of Federal
Congratulations
Parliament.
to you and the people of Australia on a successful G20.
He congratulated them on successful G20.
I'm the third head of the government. You are listening.
Why the video third? Okay. Let me make it clear for you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, my friend Tony Abbott. Congratulations to you and the people of listening to this week. I do not know how you are doing this. Maybe
He cracked a joke.
this is Prime Minister Abbott's way of short-fronting you.
Just cracked a joke. And everyone is laughing. That's a good sign.
But I'm truly honored and humbled by this opportunity to speak to you. I stand here as one of you, a representative of the people. I came to you with the greeting of
He's standing as a representative
1.25
of the
billion
people of
of a
India.
nation.
That's good.
That is linked to the Australia by the great Indian Ocean, by our connected history
Okay.
and our many shared
So he's saying how India is related to
and even
Australia
more
by the
by our
Indian Ocean
deeply interlinked
since the
destinies.
ages.
And today, I've come to unite in the spirit as we were once by geography.
Okay. He will address the parliament in many ways. But he's speaking well. I think he is respected outside of India. Let's wait till the video is buffering. Now he's wearing simple black suit. Why is this not buffered yet? I'm using good Wi-Fi connection. I think there's some issue with the Wi-Fi connection. Yep. No network available. That's why we're having this issue. Okay guys, see you. I'll make another video when the network is available. Till the time, I think network is available. I hope the internet is there, but no internet.
Your source for world-class skills
Yes,
at home or
it started
for
to
a
work.
manufacturing
It's
location
working now.
abroad. India's development, demography and demand
A demographic
provide
demand.
a unique long-term
As there's not
opportunity
from the remote
for
villages
Australia.
to the bigger cities, there is a new hope
All
in
in the
India.
familiar framework
Again, the network is
of
gone. I
democracy.
hope it will
There
return
is no
soon.
other example of this nature in the world.
In the world,
Indian investors too are coming here
Indian investors are
growing
coming to
numbers.
Australia also.
and commitments.
The net is there.
Honorable members,
I
This
see
is an
Australia
age
is a major partner in every area
in-
of our national priority.
growing numbers, our nations are secure. Our region is stable.
He's saying
and
our nations are secure.
world
I don't trust that. There is a threat from other
This
countries.
vast
China,
region
Pakistan.
and
They've
many
attacked at Pulwama. This
unsettled
isn't the sign of
questions
security,
and new
or at least this
challenges.
isn't a sign of complete security.
Historical differences persist despite growing interdependence.
Interdependence.
The ocean on the foundation of peace and stability. But India and
see,
Australia can play cricket
There are a lot of economic opportunities.
with each
Terrorism has become a major
and
threat
I
for
suspect
us all.
we
We
will
need a comprehensive global
next
strategy.
month.
I agree with that.
But we see Australia as one of our foremost partner in the region.
Okay.
I was pleased to host Prime Minister Tony Abbott as my first state guest in September.
Yeah, Australia's Prime Minister is the first chief guest.
It has taken a Prime Minister of India 28 years to come to Australia. It should never have been so. And this will change. Australia will not be at the periphery of our vision, but at the center of our thoughts.
Okay.
So we stand together
He's saying Australia
at a moment of enormous
will be at the
opportunity
center of
and
India's
great
thoughts.
responsibility. I see a great future of prosperity
Why the video is backing out
frontiers
this?
of conflict. Our future is linked to this region. India and Australia.
It is the people of
A
Australia who
shared commitment
have made
to realize
Australia what it is today.
Prime Minister Abbott started us on this new journey.
We have started on this
In
new
September.
journey.
I've come here to set our two countries more firmly on that course.
Okay.
With your help and with the help of the great people of India
He's
and
saying that Australia and India will partner on a lot of things,
best for hosting
fighting on terrorism
great and successful World
and
Cricket early next year.
and economic growth.
Thank you all. Thank you very much.
He's
Thanks a
saying
lot.
thank you all. Thanks a lot. And now let's see Rahul Gandhi. Frankly speaking with Rahul Gandhi. Let me see this. I hope this interview will be in English.
Rahul, thank you very much. It's great to have you on the Frankly Speaking show today. Thank you very much indeed. It's been 10 years and as an MP for you. You fought your first election in 2004. And this is
Okay.
your first TV interview? Your first interview?
Well, it's not my first interview, but it's my first formal interview of this type, yeah.
Why has it taken so long?
Well, I've done a lot of media interactions prior. I've done press conferences and I've spoken to the media, but mainly my focus, the bulk of my focus, has been in internal party work, and that's where I've been concentrating. So that's where most of my energy was going.
Or is it that you've been reluctant to communicate
Yes, he
more
was saying
one-to-one?
that main
No,
focus
not at all.
was
I've had
on internal party
many
work.
press conferences.
But he could have done the
But it's
interviews.
Not that you wanted to avoid
TV
touching on
interview.
difficult or tough issues.
Yes, because
No, I
Congress
like
party was not as strong.
I like dealing with that.
So now that this is your first
Yeah.
detailed and long interview round
And he
in 10
became
years, we have a
MP.
lot of ground to cover.
Sure.
So he
So
had
I
to
have
set
one
the
request
Congress
to you right
party
at the start.
first.
That let's be as specific as possible. on the subjects that we deal with today. Do I have your agreement on that?
Yeah, I mean, we'll be specific, but if I would like to sort of explain things in a bit in a broader fashion, I think
Okay.
that would be okay with you guys.
And if I want to draw you back into
So you
specifics?
can draw me back as much as you want.
Okay. So, Rahul Gandhi, the first point is this, that you've just avoided this whole question about whether you're open for the Prime Minister's post.
Okay.
It seems to me,
Yeah.
Rahul, that you're avoiding a difficult contest.
See,
He's saying that he's afraid, Rahul Gandhi is afraid of
if
Modi.
you look at
Let's see how the Rahul Gandhi answers it. Did I say the Rahul Gandhi? I'm sorry. How Rahul Gandhi answers it. Let's see.
the speech I gave in the AICC just a few days back, the issue is basically how the Prime Minister in this country is chosen. Way the Prime Minister is chosen in this country is through the MPs. Our system basically chooses MPs, and then the MPs elect the Prime Minister. I said pretty clearly in my speech in AICC that if the Congress Party so chooses, and the Congress Party wants me to do anything for them, I'm happy to do that. It's respect for the process. In fact, announcing your Prime Minister prior to an election, announcing your Prime Minister without asking the members of Parliament is not actually was written in the
You
Constitution.
did that in 2009?
No, we didn't.
Of course you did.
No. What we did in 2009 was that we had an incumbent Prime Minister. Prime Minister won the election. He then went to Parliament. The members of Parliament decided that that Prime Minister was going to continue, and there was actually a process where he was asked. They were
You
asked.
named your prime ministerial candidate, Rahul. That's
It was,
really,
we
that's
had
very straightforward.
we had an incumbent Prime Minister, and there was no question of our changing him.
See, Rahul, we can go up and down on this question.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is this: who else will they choose? Who else will Congress MPs choose but Rahul Gandhi?
That's up to them, right? But what one has to do, and I think this is central to what I keep saying, is democracy is about respect of processes. Democracy is about non-arbitrary decisions. Democracy is about spreading decisions. It's not about destroying processes. There is a process in the Constitution. That process says, and it's clearly written in the Constitution, it says, members of Parliament are to be elected by the population, and members of Parliament are to elect the Prime Minister. All I'm doing is respecting that process.
Are you avoiding a direct face-off with Narendra
No,
Modi?
there is-
Is there a fear of loss, Rahul? Because this election, frankly, is not looking very good for the Congress party from overall estimates. And the growing belief is that if Rahul Gandhi has not picked up the challenge officially, that means there is a fear of...
I don't understand why the Arnab Goswami wants this to make a fight of Modi against Rahul Gandhi, because they can make fun of Rahul Gandhi easily. It's the fight between two parties. Even if Prime Minister is chosen, he can't do anything on his own. He has to take permission from the party or from the Parliament to do anything. Then why this Indian culture is making someone star and giving credit to just one person? I don't understand it. The credit should be given to the Parliament or the ruling party, not just one person. This is not a dictatorship. This is a democracy. The Parliament does everything. The Parliament takes the decision, and the majority party has a right to influence it. That's it, I think. No one person can run the country. If one person is running the country, then it's not a democracy. It's dictatorship.
loss. He's avoiding a direct one-on-one battle
And this
with Mr. Narendra Modi.
pet,
Rahul, you must
Arnab
answer that.
Goswami, pet of Narendra Modi, is trying to make
To
it
understand
fight
that question,
of
you have to
Modi
understand
against
a little
Rahul.
bit,
This is
about
not
what
not this about.
Rahul Gandhi is and what Rahul Gandhi's circumstances
This is
have
about the
been.
country,
And if you delve
not
into
Modi
that,
versus Rahul Gandhi.
you'll get an answer to the question
I
of
don't believe it.
what Rahul Gandhi is scared of and what he's not scared of. So the real question, right, is what I'm doing sitting here. You're a journalist. When you were small, you must have thought to yourself, I want to do something, right? You decided to become a journalist at some point. Why did you do that?
You're asking me the
Yeah, I'm
question.
asking you the question. This is a conversation.
Because I like and enjoy being a journalist, and
What-
because
what
it
is
is a
it?
professional challenge for me. My question to you is, Rahul.
No, I'm
that
going to
are
answer
you-
the question.
Are you avoiding a direct face-off with
I'm
Narendra?
going to answer the question, but I just want to ask you: when you were young and you thought about being a journalist, what drove you?
Once I decided to become a journalist, I cannot be half a journalist. Once you've decided to get into politics and you are leading your party effectively, you can't be
Why
leading your
are
party
you
by half. So I throw the
avoiding
question,
Rahul
Rahul,
Gandhi's
with
question?
respect back at you, and my question to you
just
is,
wants this
Narendra
one-way
Modi
conversation.
is challenging you on a daily basis.
Rahul Gandhi
So
stumbled
I'll
upon his
answer.
answer.
You're not answering the question I asked you, but I'll answer the question that will give you some insight into how Rahul Gandhi thinks. Okay, and for that, I'll have to expand a little bit about my growing up, how I grew up, the circumstances I grew up in. What I saw when I was a child was my father, who was a pilot, and because of circumstances, was thrown into the political system. And all I saw when I was small, after my grandmother died, was my father in constant combat with the system in India. And then I saw him die, actually. Right? In my life, I've seen my grandmother die. I've seen my father die.
Okay.
I've seen my grandmother go to jail. And I've actually been through a tremendous amount of pain as a child, when these things happen to you. I mean, there's absolutely what I had to be scared of, I lost. There's absolutely nothing I'm scared of. Though I have an aim.
You tackle this
I have
question.
a clear aim in my
very
mind. And the aim is that I do not like what I see in Indian politics. It's something that is inside my heart. It's like when, in our mythology, when they talk about Arjun, he only sees one thing. He doesn't see anything else. You ask me about Mr. Modi, you ask me about anything. I only see one thing. And the thing I see is that the system in this country needs to change. I don't see anything. I'm blind to everything else. Okay? I'm blind because I saw people I loved being destroyed by this system. I'm blind because this system every day is unfair to our people. I asked you today, you come from Assam. And I'm sure that you also in your work feel the unfairness of this system. You're not going to answer my question, so we're not going to go there. But this system every day hurts people, okay? And I felt the pain that the system can cause. I felt the pain with my father. I saw him every single day of his life. So the question of whether I'm afraid of losing an election, or whether I'm afraid of Mr. Modi, or whether I'm afraid of these things is, it's not, one second, it's not actually the point. What I want to do, I'm here basically for one thing.
This is actually a good interview, but
see
when did it
tremendous
happen? I
energy
think
in
it
this
happened a long time ago.
I see more energy in this country than I see in
this
any
is
other
good.
country. I see billions of youngsters. And I see that this energy is trapped.
Okay.
And this energy is trapped for a couple of things. You ask me about Mr. Modi, you ask me about anything.
I don't
I
like
only see
this
one thing.
backing.
And the thing I see,
Okay, he
every
just
day,
wants to
every
change
day,
the system,
every
but
day hurts
how
people.
he's going to do
Okay?
it, what he's going
And
to do, he hasn't cleared it
is
yet.
trapped. And this energy is trapped for a couple of things.
He's saying
Empower
that the
the
energy
women
of
in
youth
this
is
country.
trapped.
Wants to unleash the power of these women. I mean, we talk about being a superpower.
You're avoiding my
No,
question.
not avoiding a question.
My question to you is, what is the Congress Vice President's view of the BJP's prime ministerial candidate?
I think we'll defeat the BJP in the next election.
And what is your view of the BJP's prime ministerial candidate?
Why the Arnab is asking about one person? Is this country about star? There's Modi, all chanting Modi. I don't think this is right. This is the democracy. He should ask the question, what is the opinion about BJP ruling? Why is he saying that? What is your question about what is your opinion about Narendra Modi? I mean, I don't understand it. He should ask, what is your opinion about current Prime Minister? What is he doing? What do you think he's doing? What is the Modi? Why they are taking his name?
BJP has a prime ministerial candidate. The BJP believes in concentration.
Even if he's taking his name, he should address him as Prime Minister on things. As Prime Minister or your opposite party has declared their Prime Ministerial candidate. That's it.
Of power in the hands of one person.
But I think Arnab is repeatedly dragging Rahul towards Narendra Modi. He's not asking about anything. That what you will do if your party comes in power for the job, to provide jobs to the country, to the youth of the country, to develop the country.
I fundamentally disagree with that. I believe in democracy. I believe in opening up the system. I believe in the RTI. I believe in giving power to our people. We have fundamentally different philosophies.
What is your view? Would you like to expound your views? The Prime Minister, your Prime Minister accuses Narendra Modi in his press conference of presiding over, and I quote, the mass massacre of innocent citizens on the street of Ahmedabad. Mr. Rahul Gandhi, my question to you is this. Do you agree with your Prime Minister when he says that?
Well, I mean, what the Prime Minister is saying is a fact. I mean, Gujarat happened, people died. But the real issue, as far as I'm concerned...
How do you accuse Mr. Narendra Modi of it?
No, Gujarat happened, people died. The real issue at hand here...
How is Mr. Modi responsible for it?
He was Chief Minister when Gujarat happened.
Well, the fact remains that Narendra Modi has been given a clean sheet in the Gulbarg massacre case by the SIT and the court, Mr. Gandhi. My question to you is, can the Congress party sustain its attack on Mr. Narendra Modi on the issue when he has been given the clean sheet by the courts in the Gujarat riots?
The Congress party and the BJP have two completely different philosophies. Our from the BJP is based on the idea that this country needs to move forward democratically. It needs to push democracy deeper into the country. It needs to push democracy into the villages. It needs to give women democratic power. It needs to give youngsters democratic power. It is about opening the doors of the Congress party, about empowering the youth.
How is Narendra Modi responsible for the Gujarat riots when the courts have given him a clean? Politically, your party's stack is to criticize Narendra Modi and draw him into the Gujarat riots.
Our political party is fighting an ideological battle against the BJP. And let me draw out the two pillars. Our party believes that women should be empowered, that democracy should go to every house, that the RTI, the Narega paradigm should be further expanded. The BJP believes that power should be extremely concentrated in this country. Few people should run this country, and the large mass of people in this country should.
But specifically speaking, how is the party for the 2002 Gujarat riots? How can you do that when he has been given a clean sheet in the Gulbarg massacre by the SIT and the court was challenged in the court? The court upheld the SIT findings, and therefore, legally speaking, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, you cannot draw Narendra Modi into the Gujarat riots, implicate him personally. Do you believe that strategy of your party is fundamentally wrong?
The strategy,
Why is Arnab Goswami asking Rahul Gandhi a question about one person?
10 years.
And not
in
about
fact,
his
if you
party's
look all the way
propaganda.
back to the freedom movement, every single thing we've ever done is empower people. Okay, we empowered people in the freedom movement. We empowered farmers in the Green Revolution.
And
We
I think
empowered
Rahul
the
Gandhi
citizens
don't
of
know
India
this answer
when we did the telecom revolution. We've empowered millions and millions of people through, frankly, the most powerful legislation that has been has taken place in this country, called the RTI, Right to Information. Things that used to be closed, things that were in closed doors that nobody knew about.
I'll come to that, but you haven't answered my question on the Gujarat riots. Gujarat riots is the question. Your party has consistently wanted to put Mr. Narendra Modi on the back foot on the Gujarat riot. He says the courts have given me a clean sheet. And I'm asking you today, is your party's argument about putting him on the back foot on the Gujarat riots flawed, given the way the courts have looked?
The Prime Minister stated his position on the Gujarat riots. The Gujarat riots took place. People died. Mr. Narendra Modi was in charge of Gujarat at that point. I'm bringing you to the real ideological battle that is taking place here. The real ideological battle that is taking place here, and the one we are going to win, and that has always been won in this country, is the battle of empowering people in this country. Of course, there is your point about the Gujarat riots, and it is very important that people who have taken part in this type of thing are brought to book. But the real issue at hand here is empowering the women of this country,
Yes.
giving them true power. You know,
That is right. Gujarat, it happened, it's history, let it be history. Discussing about it is not going to change anything. Giving Narendra Modi a clean sheet or accusing him, now I don't think it's not going to make much difference. What is going to make a difference is about talking what further we can do, what development can be done to the country. Not just again discussing the issue of Gujarat, right? Now that matter is discussed in court. Why should we bring it back?
About superpower.
I think Arnab Goswami is pet of Narendra Modi long before BJP won the election. And I think he's spreading up.
The Shehzada. And you
He's
remember, Mr. Gandhi, he's constantly
spreading
deriding you by calling you a Shehzada.
just BJP's
Whether
agendas.
your party killed Sikhs in anger when your grandmother died. So, following from this, I have two questions. My first question is, do you acknowledge the role of congressmen in the 1984 riots? B, will you apologize for the riots as your party demands an apology from Modi for the Gujarat riots?
Well, two things. In 1977, when my grandmother lost the election, we went and lived in 12 building in Crescent. And the people who came with my grandmother, those people who stood by my grandmother, were Sikhs. Pretty much everybody had deserted my grandmother, but the Sikhs were standing with my grandmother. Okay, I think the Sikhs are probably one of the most industrious people in this country. I admire them. We have a prime minister who's a Sikh. See, I don't have the same world view as my opposition. What those two people did to my grandmother, right, was two individuals. I don't turn around and take my anger, which existed then, frankly doesn't exist now, and brush it onto an entire community. That's just not me.
No, I'm sure you don't, but my question my question was, do you acknowledge the role of congressmen in the 1984 riots? Because there must be justice. Mr. Gandhi, there has to be finality. The Gujarat riots cases have moved forward and many people have got justice. If I just compare that to the 1984 riots, you can look at the status and case history of what...
In this interview, this Arnab Goswami is bringing back the riots in 1984, the Gujarat riots, and this is now 2014. I think this is interview of 2014. What is the use of bringing back those riots? I don't understand. BJP has done a politics of religion since the beginning, and it is doing now. You can see what happened in UP, and this is just insane. These journalists should be banned from the TV channels, but instead, after Modi became Prime Minister, he got his own channel. That's how things are working now in our
happened with
country.
Sachin Kumar,
Sadly,
Jagdish Titler, HKL Bhagat, Dharamdas Das.
I'm not speaking
And
in
the one
favor of
story which
Rahul
you hear
Gandhi,
there
but I
is that
don't
the
like
cases are endless. They go on for...
how these journalists are, the kind of questions the journalists are asking. In our country, is the debate about renewable energy? Is the debate about light, water, education? No. The question of the interview are about riot, Hindu-Muslim riot, and Sikh riot. What benefit it is going to do to us, except it is going to drown to the history, the black part of history, the sad period of history, and that's of no use to us. I don't think this is a good journalism, and the question he has chosen are not going to help people in any way.
the longest period of time. I'm asking you again, Mr. Gandhi, before you seek an apology from Modi, would you apologize for the 1984 riots? Would that be something you consider?
I do not take my anger, which existed, on two people, two individuals, who did something
And Rahul Gandhi is doing
evil
a
and
great
wrong,
job here.
and overlay it
I
on
think.
millions of people. I think
He's not falling
that's criminal.
into the
Okay?
trap of
Did
Arnab.
the Sikh riots take place in Delhi?
He's just speaking about his party,
Were
his
they
own view,
completely
what he
wrong?
wants to do for the
Absolutely.
country. That's it.
Congressmen involved?
Not
Did
about what
innocent
other
people
has
die?
done
Absolutely.
or
Were
what.
congressmen involved?
Some congressmen probably were involved.
Past.
Have they been? Has justice been delivered to
There
them?
is a legal process
What
through which
happened in
they
the
have
past?
gone.
You admit
But
some congressmen were probably involved.
some congressmen have been punished.
He said some congressman has been punished. Why we are going to hold Rahul Gandhi responsible for everyone done by Congress in the past when he was not the leader of Congress? Anyways, you guys have seen 2 interviews. You should decide. I don't think you have seen Modi's speech and you have seen this interview. Decide whom to vote in the election. Good luck. Subscribe to this channel before leaving.